Church. At our moderator's request, I am recording a video of the presentation I gave to our church council at its meeting on December 19th, 2023. For council members, this was a progress update on the facilities goal we'd set for 2023. Most of this information was just a refresher for them with a couple key updates. In the middle of this month, we received preliminary estimates for sanctuary renovations, including the refurbishment of our pipe organ. This is the detailed information we need to make a wise decision about a possible capital campaign in 2024. You'll have a chance to learn more and ask questions about the estimates and the scope of work at 2 information sessions held in person on the 2 Sunday mornings after Christmas. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Here is what I presented to council. In 2023, Plymouth Church will build on its past strength to establish excellence in facilities as our standard practice. Our facilities are invaluable tools for accomplishing our mission. That is the goal right there. Now, what does excellence in facilities mean? Well, here's how we define it. We extend hospitality and welcome for all. We prioritize preventative maintenance. Our facility staff are effective and efficient, and we make steady progress on our facilities master plan. Our 2023 strategies for growth, how we think we'll be able to accomplish that goal, are these. A, evaluate the facilities manager role and fill it well. Check. We accomplished that this spring when we hired Matt Del Vecchio in the role of facilities manager, and he's doing great work. B, implement phase 1 of the facilities master plan. And C, plan for phase 2 of the facilities master plan. All right, toward strategy A, we have accomplished everything we'd hoped to in that area. So big green check mark, done. Now for strategy B, implement phase 1 of the facilities master plan, it's helpful to remember a little bit of the context here. So at the council's meeting at council's request, Plymouth Church contracted with Clark Huseman, a local design firm, to provide a facilities master plan. And they did provide that to us in February of 22. After the council approved the facilities master plan, the facilities committee of the Board of Stewardship reviewed the plan and recommended to the board phases for implementation based on current resources and priorities. Stewardship received that recommendation at its March 2023 meeting. And here are the contents of phase 1. A, refresh paint throughout the building to design standards defined by the facilities master plan. Replace and/or install new carpeting in areas defined in the facilities master plan. Priority given to high traffic or heavily worn areas. C, improve audio-visual technology in the Mayflower Room. Add hearing aid support in the sanctuary and assess the feasibility of solar panels and move forward with the solar panel project if it is determined to be a good fit for Plymouth. The timeline for phase 1, remember, we're going back to the original projection. So from spring of 23, we planned to seek estimates for vendors from the priority projects to evaluate the solar panels and hearing assistance projects and to define a scope of work for carpet and paint. We've done all of those things. In summer, we began work to secure bids for all of that. We'd hoped to get a lot of the paint finished during the quiet season, but we needed to get more bids to make sure that we were doing the most cost-effective approach to getting the paint done. You will see that the painting has begun after Christmas. We also have bids for the rest of the work. So the improvements to the AV system in Mayflower, for the solar projects. Late breaking news, we were awarded a grant from the Rice Foundation. Thank you, Rice Foundation, to help support the solar project. And the carpeting is under review as well. We have estimates and we have carpet samples. You will be invited to help make that decision because, oh my, carpeting, it's a big deal. So we're well underway on phase 1. All right, now let's talk about strategy C, Planning for phase 2 of the facilities master plan. Phase 2 of the facilities master plan stewardship determined to be these items. 1, attention to the historic building. Goals include to lower the choir loft and improve the chancel footprint, both of these with the goal of increasing accessibility. Refurbish the organ, raise the elevation in the rear balcony to improve sight lines, install a hearing aid loop, refurbish and preserve stained glass, and address flooring needs. In addition, we identified these goals for phase 2 in the north building to improve flow from the north building to the historic building and the entrance to the north building, and improve the bathrooms on the west side of the north building. And 3, attention to the south building. Make recommended changes in the basement to provide youth space, gathering of grace band rehearsal space, bell choir, and adjust storage. So all of these items were things we'd hoped to consider in phase 2. Okay. Now the timeline for planning to accomplish all that work, this is what we set out in the spring. We decided that we would look for a consultancy firm that would help us undertake a feasibility study for a capital campaign. All of these items were things that we knew would cost significantly more than we could handle in our ordinary operating budget. Most of the items in phase 1 we could tackle with our ordinary maintenance and operations budget, and we have been able to do most of those things within that budget. These items in phase 2 will require a significant financial lift, a major investment. So before we decided to take on this ambitious project, we needed to know if it was even feasible for us to raise the kind of money it would take. And so we contracted with Generis, and Alan Wilds, one of their consultants, came out with, and in September hosted information sessions and did a pretty thorough evaluation of Plymouth's readiness for a capital campaign. And then the second project was ongoing. So the second piece of this timeline was to continue to review needs and priorities. Of all the items listed within phase 2, we decided to focus most closely on the organ needs and the chancel accessibility. We determined that those were our top priorities. Of all the things we could tackle that might be worthy of a capital investment, these 2 were mission critical. And so we have narrowed our focus in phase 2 to the organs needs and chancel accessibility. All right. So here are some updates. In September, as I said, we brought Alan Wilds of Generis to evaluate Plymouth's readiness for a capital campaign. In October, Alan provided us with his evaluation. And the evaluation indicated that with more detailed information, Plymouth will be in a strong position to raise 2 to 3 times of our annual operating budget in a capital campaign, should we choose to undertake one. More updates. From October to December, we asked our design firm, Clark Huesman, who provided us with the facilities master plan, to review and update cost estimates for those top priority projects for the organ needs and the accessibility around the chancel. Also, from October to December, Plymouth's organ committee identified a short list of organ companies that they might like to work with and invited a company, Quimby Organ Company from Warrensburg, Missouri, in to evaluate and estimate the organ costs. From November to December, the Stewardship Board has evaluated and recommended to Council a contract with Generis, that's Alan's company, to guide a capital campaign in 2024. That contract has not been signed or entered into. We will not do that until the time comes, if it should come, that the congregation votes that that is the direction we need to go. But the contract is ready and has received Stewardship's approval and the Council's review. In December, and here's where the exciting new news comes, this very month, Clark Huesman did provide us with estimated costs for the sanctuary project that narrowly focused on the chancel area and the needs of the organ. At the same time, the organ committee was also able to receive an estimate from the Quimby Company from Warrensburg, Missouri. Now, what do we know that we didn't know before? Numbers you would like to know, and I would like you to know. The cost estimate for refurbishing the organ, updating and relocating critical HVAC elements that would need to shift to accommodate the accessibility and the new footprint of the organ in the chancel area, and also improving the accessibility overall of the chancel. The cost estimate for all of that work together is approximately $4.4 million. We believe this is a conservative estimate. It includes $2 million for the organ, It also includes significant allocations for cost escalation due to potential inflation and contingency expenses. Doug Eason, chair of our facilities committee, estimates that the project may qualify for up to $1.2 million in tax credits. That makes our estimated fundraising goal about $3.2 million. And this is an estimate. And it does give us the information we need to discern next steps. Please read over the December 19th meeting minutes on the governance tab of our website for more nuanced details on the discussion at council. You'll see that there is a real possibility that we'll have a called congregational meeting in mid-January. That meeting would be to discern whether we will enter into a capital campaign to fund this work. Our beautiful and historic sanctuary is critical to our mission to unite for the worship of God and the service of all. And planning for its care is a responsibility that belongs to all of us. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about what God may be calling us to take on in the year ahead. See you in church.